Hello, I'm Tabitha Burrell, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I love to talk about all things subconscious mind related, mindset, power of law of attraction, and just your inner power, the inner power that all of us have. There's nobody better or worse than anyone else. There's no one more favored by God than anyone else. It's just all about us and where we are in our consciousness, honestly. And I have some notes here today. I just wanted to make a video about one of my favorite authors, and it's Dr. Joseph Murphy. And you can get a lot of his stuff free on YouTube. There's lots of his books that are narrated, and you just listen to them for free. I think there's even a lot of free Audible type material, but he's a really good place to start if you're new to studying the subconscious mind or law of attraction. He's a great place to build your base knowledge on the magic of the universe, is what I call it. And I wanted to talk about some master keys to wealth. And first of all, your wealth is all you have to become wealthy in your consciousness, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you believe that you're poor, that money it'll go for one thing or another. And you have to start with just the belief that you are wealthy, and you have to reason out in your mind that the divine, God, universe, whatever you call it, is the source of the universe and everything in it. All the qualities and attributes of God are also within you. You are a direct extension of God. The I am, that's you. You are it. It's just like if you have a child and that child is a direct source of you, there's a part of you in that DNA of that child. Same with God. So we're the creators. We are in charge of our life, even though at times it doesn't seem like we are. And you may think, well, I'm not in charge of this. I wouldn't have picked my parents. Trust me, I understand. I grew up, it was really rough. I had a really rough childhood. And when I started to learn this material, I was like, there's absolutely no way I would have picked my mom. I respectfully say that. She has passed on. And I know that she only operated at the level of consciousness that she was at. And she only loved in the way that she knew how to love, which is different than the way that I love. But I remember thinking there's no way I would have picked my mom. But looking at it from a higher level of consciousness, I see how having those challenges in my childhood helped create who I am today. And I'm so thankful I am where I am. So anyway, God is the source of everything. God is the source of your supply. That's what Dr. Joseph Murphy says always. And all you have to do is ask for something. Believe that you have received it and it will be given to you, like Jesus said, right? So, Dr. Murphy talks about how the mind of man and the mind of God are one. And basically what he alludes to is that anything that you can comprehend and conceive in your imagination, you can have it. If you really want it, and you can level up to the same energetic frequency that it is. Like for example, at one point, because I'm a registered nurse, and and I mentioned I had a hard childhood, I really believed that I couldn't be a nurse. I couldn't do anything that required that level of education and skill. And I had to become a person who believed I could do it. And you know what? I started to do that. And then I went from being a waitress to being a nurse. And I was not only a nurse, but I graduated with really exceptional grades. Because I decided I wasn't going to be a B nurse. I was going to be an A+ nurse, and that's what I was. I mean, I graduated. I didn't graduate top of my class because I would have if I had enough university hours, but I started at a community college and then I transferred. So, at least in my program, if you did that and you didn't have a certain amount of university hours, you didn't get any sort of recognition for your grade point average. That was my understanding, at least back in 2003. But you have to conceive that you can do something. And so if you can see, if you or perceive, if you in your mind believe, that's probably what I'm trying to say, that you can have wealth and that you are wealthy, then it will happen. And you have to consistently keep believing that. Don't just believe it one day and then the next day be like, I'm so overwhelmed with bills. You have to consistently believe that God is the source of your supply and a never ending help in time of trouble. And I say that all the time in my head. And I'm pretty sure I heard it from Dr. Joseph Murphy, that same phrase. And so you have to come to a clear cut decision that God is the source of all your supply and your creativity, your health, your ideas. He's the source of the sun, the air you breathe, and the apple that you eat, right? He's the source of everything. And for everything is made of the invisible. Now, take this room. This room is in the basement of my home, right? And it's my home office. And at some point, this didn't exist here. It was just a lot or a plot of land, and someone conceived the idea to build a house, and then they conceived the idea of putting the basement in here. Well, when I bought the house, the basement was unfinished, and I conceived the idea of, hey, we're going to section that up into rooms and make that more of a living space. And I imagined this room as a home office, and here I am in my home office. It all started in my mind. We're creators, just like God is. And so you have to come to a belief and an agreement with yourself that God's just not some man that lives on a cloud wearing a long white gown and Birkenstocks. I mean, that's how I have always imagined God. So a master key to getting wealth is believing that the divine is the source of everything. And it's the source of you, and you have a direct connection. Therefore, you can create your world the way that you want it to be. I hope that all made sense. I feel like I chased a few rabbits. You have to, number 2 is you have to decide to engrave your subconscious mind with the idea of wealth. So you have to repeat a thought over and over in your head until it becomes automatic. So for me, it is, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. And you know what? To my astonishment, so many people I know who have come from nothing and accumulated wealth say that same mantra. And that just blows me away. I was watching another creator on YouTube who that is her mantra, and I was like, stop. That's mine. Oh my gosh, And I don't just think of wealth as money. Like, I have a home, and I'm wealthy with my home, and I'm always decluttering and getting rid of things, and I always say I'm passing on my wealth. I'm so thankful for this, but my time with it has gone on and passed, and I'm going to pass it on. And so you have to get used to the idea of wealth. That helps you sort of take ownership of being wealthy. And wealth comes in all forms. Health is wealth. If you could have billions of dollars, but if you're not healthy and you can't enjoy it. So I'm healthy and I'm wealthy with my health. I'm wealthy with a home. I have an abundance of people who love me, and compared to the rest of the world, I'm very rich. There's parts of the world they would be shocked to know I have 3 bathrooms in my home, And so, compared to the rest of the world, you may think you live in humble surroundings, but they would think you were very, very rich. So, engrave your subconscious with the idea of wealth. And those ideas are like seeds. And you hear that a lot with any teaching on law of attraction or power of your subconscious mind about how we sow and plant seeds. Well, it's true. Everything like that seed of the idea of wealth, when you plant that, it starts to sprout. And then you start thinking of other ways to make more money, or you start thinking of other ways to enrich someone's life, which enriches your relationships, right? And that your wealth is friends, wealth is great, loving relationships, family, good family relationships. All these things make up the wealth that you want, for sure. You don't want just money. You want a wealth of happiness and love and health and being able to help people and to pass it on. And then there's another thing I want to say before I end this YouTube video. And it's an affirmation that Dr. Joseph Murphy says all the time. And you're supposed to repeat the affirmation for 5 minutes, both night and morning. And it is, I am now writing. Oh, and just a good tip, if you want to listen to it till you memorize it, you can listen to it on YouTube. It's, I am now writing in my subconscious mind the idea of wealth, of God's wealth. And God is the source of my supply. And I know that God is the life principle within me. And I know that I am alive and all my needs are met at every moment of time and point of space. That is such a wonderful thing to repeat to yourself, especially if you feel a little ding of discouragement. God is the source of my supply, and He's with me every moment of time. All my needs are met at every moment of time and point of space. And God is God's wealth flows freely, joyously, and ceaselessly into my experience, and I give thanks for God's wealth forever circulating in my experience. And when thoughts of lack come to you, such as, he also says this, when thoughts of lack come to you, such as I can't afford this trip, or I can't meet that need, or that debt, or that I can't pay that bill, never, never, ever finish a negative statement about your finances. And that's mandatory. So if you're watching this because you want to be a wealthy, abundant person who lives a good life, never doubt ever again that you can afford something. Because if you want it, ask for it and wait. And it will come. There'll be a way, one way or another, because God is the source of your supply. He is a never-ending help in time of trouble. And He supplies all your needs at every moment of time and point of space. And you have to believe it to live in that state. And when you live in the state of abundance and wealth and happiness, law of attraction brings that to you. Now, here's a thing that I didn't understand in the beginning, and I kept trying. Well, first of all, you can't try. You just have to be. But I thought I could think that thought one time, and it'd be done. But no, you have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, that I am the state of wealth. I am wealthy. And it takes a while, because if you've been believing the other way for a long time, that doesn't change just overnight. You have to absolutely reprogram your subconscious mind. And just hang in there. Just keep being. Just keep being wealthy. Even if it means, I'll tell you a really good way, because there were times I didn't have a lot of extra cash to donate or give or whatever, but I gave away stuff that I no longer needed. And that's how I started saying I'm passing along my abundance. And boy, you wouldn't even believe how my life started changing after that. I mean, it's really, really remarkable. Just try that. Um, and just see yourself as abundant enough to give things away, to donate them to thrift shops, or give it to someone you know in need, or donate it to the Goodwill, whatever you need to do. Um, and remember that God, the divine, He doesn't bless one person more than the other. It's our allowing of the good to come into us through our belief, because certain beliefs offer up a resistance. It's like when the electricity is flowing through a light switch, because you may think, well, I mean, there's no way I could get a $30,000 a year increase at my work. But guess what? All you have to do is believe, and that will happen. And I know that from experience, and that's all I'll say about that. So, we'll talk about this more in depth. I just wanted to make a video today to encourage you. A lot of people that are starting to study the power of the subconscious mind are very interested in manifesting money. And I hate to use manifesting like it's a verb, manifesting this or whatever. It is just something that naturally occurs whenever you live in the right state. You have to live in the end, live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, because it is those feelings that create it's the thoughts that create the feelings, that create the frequency, and everything is energy. And by law of attraction, because of that frequency you're on, more wealth in whatever form you're desiring it, whether it be money, relationships, job opportunities, whatever it is you are personally desiring, that will show up in your life. And so, if you don't know about Dr. Joseph Murphy, go check him out. He has a great, I think he has written like 40-something books. But there's multiple books of his that are narrated for free on YouTube. Please check him out if you have some time. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know about things you would want to hear about and what you're interested in. And I'd be glad to read anything and talk about anything related to the power of your subconscious mind and just creating the life that you want to live. I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye.